Not even worth the rummaging. I've got my eyes on the prize.
So, darüber hinaus halte ich es für unmöglich, dass irgendeine Person außer Bürgermeister Cecil, Hauptmann Aureus, Eva Maria oder Esmeralda in der Lage gewesen wäre, Zugang zum Leichnam zu erlangen, ohne dass ich dies bemerkt hätte. Eine Leiche kann sich nicht einfach in Luft auflösen. Und selbst wenn, so kann kein noch so starker Windstoß einen Sack Gold auf die leere Totenbank geblasen haben. Nein, eine der genannten Personen muss ihre Finger im Spiel haben, aber solange Jakes Sarg nicht wieder ausgegraben wird, kann niemand das Verbrechen bis zu mir verfolgen.
Looks like the mortician is rather suspicious about Jake.
What could Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus or Evelyn have to do with it?
Der hat eine andere Leiche vergraben als von Jake. Die Leiche ist wahrscheinlich einfach verschwunden.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death?
Erzählt mir von euch.
This here is my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Cecil itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless.
Was könnt ihr mir über den Mord erzählen? Übrigens ist Leichengeschäft wirklich ein Familiengeschäft immer. Die zwei Totengräber, die ich kennengelernt habe, haben das schon in der x-ten Generation dann gemacht.
Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace.
Und mal ganz kurz speichern, was Jakes Leichnam angeht.
How do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would you like to know?
Warum verdächtigt ihr den Bürgermeister?
Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know? And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined.
Und warum verdächtigt ihr den Hauptmann?
Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains.
Das finde ich aber nicht sonderlich verdächtig.
Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't.
Er ist der Hauptmann hier und er hat einfach gedacht, es passiert mir was Interessanteres. Eva Maria.
I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager.
Er war einfach guter Immobilienhändler. Er hat billig eingekauft und will teuer verkaufen, wenn die Untoten weg sind. Easy.
I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband. and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda.
Ich würde aber auch gerne über den Beutel Gold reden, den ihr bekommen habt und eure Angelegenheit mit Jakes Leichnam mit dem Mantel des Schweigens zu belegen.
That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it.
Nun kommt schon, ihr seid ein guter Mensch und ein Stützpfeiler dieser Gemeinde. Gebt mir das Blutgeld, bevor es euren Ruf und euer Gewissen befleckt. Gewinnt einige Male Schere, Stein, Papier, um euer Gegenüber zu überzeugen. Verteilt Punkte auf Charisma, um euch einen Vorteil zu verschaffen. Mit Leertaste kann ich das Spiel überspringen. Aber ich bin im Schmeicheln so kacke. Nein! Kacke. Ich habe im Dialog gespeichert, deshalb extra. Weil ich weiß nicht, in welchem Bereich ich am stärksten bin. Bertia, die Frau, der ihr das Schaf gestohlen habt, verdient das Geld gewiss weit mehr als sonst jemand. Gebt mir das Gold, dann bringe ich es zu seiner rechtmäßigen Eigentümerin. Argumentieren bin ich wenigstens auf 3. Ach, dämlicher Typ. Du nimmst immer genau das, was ich zuletzt genommen habe. Also das Gegenstück. Also kommt jetzt... Ah. So geht's dann.
You know, I reckon Bertia really didn't get a fair shake in all this, did she? Here, take the money and give it to her. Times are hard enough as they are.
Du bist ein guter Mensch.
The dead man is nervous as a squirrel.
Dafür bestehle ich auch noch die Hälfte deiner Bude.
Hey, that's...
Nein! Nein! Das kann ich nicht so machen. Wieso? Oh, wenn ich jetzt das Argumentieren verkacke, ne? Geht doch.
You know,
So, jetzt speichere ich mal eben.
The dead man is nervous as a squirrel. I'm certain he's hiding something.
Red mal eben mit ihm. Hihihihi. Ach Moment, ich kann auch in den Schrank gucken. Warum schläft eigentlich mit einem Haufen Spinnenweben?
oh,
Ach, so anstrengend, jemand zu bestehlen. Tschüss. Ich habe doch oben im Haus was gehabt, was ich mitgenommen habe. Aber erstmal ist wichtig, den Dolch mitzunehmen. Aber 6 Angreifer ist auch zu viel Stufenunterschied. +1 Wahrnehmung. Soll ich nochmal ins Buch für Hoppla, ich bin ein Detektiv gucken? Tatort als nächstes. Ach, das war... Der wurde in Gestau, beziehungsweise in der Kneipe getötet.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear!
Seid ihr ein Dieb?
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal.
Das könnte interessant werden.
So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Jeder braucht dann und wann Hilfe. Nehmt den Fisch. Außer uns wird das niemand mitbekommen.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish, and none but us will be the wiser.
Das stimmt. Ohne ein bisschen Nächstenliebe wäre die Welt ein viel grausamerer Ort.
True enough.
Obwohl
Without
er
a
ja...
bit of charity now and then, the
die
world would be a
bestiehlt.
far crueler place.
Was hat das mit Nächstenliebe zu tun?
That's the spirit! Or should I say, the soul?
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No, I paid for it. The merchant just left, but I paid. I paid before.
You were a witness to this event now? Tell me what happened.
Dieser Mann sagt die Wahrheit. Er hat diesen Fisch ganz ehrlich bezahlt.
This man is telling the truth. He paid for that fish fair and square.
Ganz recht.
Quite so. I saw him pay the merchant.
I can't thank you enough for your, discretion. I'll be going now.
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir. Carry on.
Erstmal klatschen.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path.
Was sagt ihr zu dem Fischdieb?
I can understand your sympathy for that man, but feeding him for one day will hardly remedy his circumstances. You would have done better to help him more substantially than by covering up a single petty theft.
Ja, ich hätte dem Fischen beibringen müssen, ne? Dann hätte er immer essen können.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Gorman bear.
Was?
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Das ist der Hahn, den ich gerettet habe?
Hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no?
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of
Also hier kann ich definitiv keinen bestehlen.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Well, hello there.
Watch the undead quiver in their moldy
Ach, kacke, ich wollte ja zum Tatort. Jetzt habe ich mich ablenken lassen von dem wunderschönen Hahnding. Rathaus gehen wir dann, nachdem wir am Tatort waren. Und zum Glück haben wir schon mit dem von den 5 Flaschen Typ gequatscht. Unsinkbarer Sam. Weil weiß ich auch noch, der erzählt irgendwas Krasses, wenn du mit Tieren sprechen kannst. Weil der hat irgendwie seine eigene Geschichte und erzählt uns, glaube ich, von irgendeinem Schiff.
Back, demon! Back, or I'll... Well, what's this? Oh, Medora, you lummox. 1,000 pardons, comrade. This old bear's edgier than a dodecahedron these days. I'll tell you, it sure does me good to set eyes on another of our order. From Academy West, aren't you? Give Captain Wartruce my regards next time you see him.
Ich habe nichts davon gehört, dass andere Quellenjäger nach Sisi geschickt wurden. Was macht ihr hier?
Heavens hornets! That's quite a story, comrade. And come to think of it, one that might concern you. See, I'm here on, well, let's call it a loan from a town to the north of here. Hunter's Edge by name. There's been an attack there, comrade. Orcs. Not your run-of-the-mill savages either, but ones who've taken dark magic to new heights.
Ich glaube, sie kann ich auch mitnehmen.
What they want in Hunter's Edge, I can't say, but it's my responsibility to send them packing. Preferably with their horns in their suitcases and a knee-knocking fear of ever crossing paths with a sauce hunter again. I came south seeking the Legion's help, only to find it tied here in Sicil. They don't have a spare soldier to send northward, and even in my finest form, I can't clear the place of that many orcs without backup.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while
Wer sagt, ihr seid hier nochmal? Ihr kommt mir aus der Akademie bekannt vor.
You wouldn't. I trained up in Academy North, after all. We don't cross paths with you Westies all that often, but it's always a pleasure when we do.
Weil sie kann dann Rundumschlag und sowas, glaube ich, am Anfang.
Medora's the name. Retired, or so the Order keeps trying to tell me, but never out of commission. My hand to your cause and my sword at your side.
Dorf wurde von Orks angegriffen. Wie konntet ihr entkommen?
By the skin of my teeth, comrade. The savages were rounding up villagers when one of them activated a tripwire on our village wizard's property. Fortunately for me, that particular wizard has a penchant for things that go boom in the night. I managed to wrench free of my captor's grip and flee toward the forest. He pursued me for miles, but I'd lost him before I made it into the Sicil hinterlands.
Wie lautet euer nächster Angriffsplan?
Well, comrade, I hadn't thought of it till you tapped my shoulder just now. But perhaps that's where you come in. I need a contingent I can trust if I'm to take back the town. And the way I see it, you could use reinforcements here in town. I've been scouting Sicil for some time now, and I believe I've sussed out sufficient intel to help solve the murder of the Counselor. With our minds and swords in tandem, we'll make short work of the perpetrator.
Old friend.
Well, you know the old expression. 2's a tea party, 3's an invasion. I know this place like the back of my hand by now, and the orcs up north will be short work for a trained-up trio of sauce hunters.
Ein fantastischer Plan. Wenn 3 Quellenjäger zusammenarbeiten, werden wir all den bösen Kräften Einhalt gebieten, die dieses schöne Land noch fest im Griff haben.
A fantastic plan. With 3 source hunters working in tandem, we'll put an end to all the evils bent against this fair land.
Another source hunter on the team will make us all the more formidable against this wicked magic. Welcome aboard, Medora.
I dare say.
That's the spirit. Listen closely now.
Ich glaube, sie hat auch ein paar gute Sprüche später.
That's the sound of every orc and sorcerer in a 100-mile radius shaking in his wee boots.
Mandora, weil sie halt eine alte Frau ist, in Rente. Danke, Hafenmeister, für ein Twitch Prime-Abo. Vielen Dank. Und wir haben damit einen Nahkämpfer. Beziehungsweise Frontkämpfer.
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lying in
Löpffähigkeit
your pocket.
erlernt. Da, Wirbelwind. Das war das, was ich meinte. So eine Art Rundumschlag. Dürfen wir eintreten, Francis?
Greetings, traveller, and may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you yet heard the revelation? What's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the Conduit's eyes, and only through great deeds may enter into her inner ring.
Welche Offenbarung meint ihr genau?
You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation with one who has, as yet, been lost. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus.
Ob du an Götter glaubst.
By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye.
Erzählt mir doch bitte mehr von dieser Mittlerin.
She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess, where all living souls are naturally inclined. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to greater life in service of the goddess.
Was meint ihr mit dem einen Weg?
Ah, for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest and into the town of Silverglen, where all may be revealed.
Ich werde diesen einen Weg gehen.
There, among
Eines
her
Tages.
followers and friends, dwells the goddess's ecstasy, her one way. Go on the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the conduit has great plans for you.
He says he's an immaculate. But I thought they'd been banished after the death of the Source King.
Immaculate. Haven't heard of their kind, but I don't like the sound of them.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aureus' explicit approval.
Ich hab ne Erlaubnis. Ich schwör.
Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the Captain, is he? Well, your reward for getting your ear chewed off is a waltz through the town's finest magical murder scene. Enjoy.
Alter. Ah!
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone.
Es war einfach so laut.
Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all.
Now-
By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? Two Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious.
Das Ende von Raum und Zeit? Seid ihr des Wahnsinns?
Perhaps my newfound comrade, but that is hardly our chiefest concern. We stand on a tiny vestige of space and time, and the ground is fast shrinking beneath our feet. It's good you appeared. however you did it, precisely when and where you did, or you might have found yourself free floating in empty space. Oh, but I suppose I should make a proper introduction. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was and is and, hopefully, all that is to be.
Wieso schrumpft dieser Ort, wie ihr meintet?
Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened.
Raus mit der Sprache, Herr Imp. Was genau ist hier geschehen?
Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
You know, I think that imp may be quite mad.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should
One
go.
man's trash is another man's trash.
Verdammt, das ist gar nichts wert. So dämlicher Imp, es wird nicht getrunken auf der Arbeit.
The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence.
Können wir zuerst darüber reden, was wir gerade durch euer Teleskop gesehen haben?
Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well.
Was liegt jenseits dieses Portals?
Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain.
Ich glaube, wir sind verbunden mit diesem Ort.
It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one.
Dann auf zum Atem.
After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first, but don't dilly-dally. Yes, just as I'd hoped. There she is, there it is. Come, don't delay.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Ich habe auch diesen Ort total verdrängt übrigens. Inaktive Portale. Der Teleporter will nicht funktionieren. Ach, Schmetterlinge, das wird der Hauptmann gerne sehen. Sehr gut, ein Ort mit lauter inaktiven Portalen. Und 3 Vasen.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
Es war ein Stein, ein seltsamer Stein. Hat uns von dort, wo wir in Rebellion standen, an diesen Ort in den Stern teleportiert.
A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well.
Obwohl
Is that so?
Obwohl die erste Antwort ja auch ganz nett ist, so wie wenn man zum Wahrsager geht. Na, wer seid ihr? Das wisst ihr doch schon. Das ist das, was gerade passiert ist. Habt ihr so etwas schon einmal erlebt?
Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters, it would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are.
Was hat es mit diesen Sternsteinaufsicht. Sternensteinaufsicht. Wo kommt der her?
Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. A secret lost, even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
Wenn diese Steine die Geschichte heilen können, müssen wir sie finden.
Indeed you must. Though I may not yet understand why, it seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than...
Why, of course,
Entschuldigung.
that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
Ich habe doch gar keine Wahl. Als Bezahlung nehme ich
So, what do you think, Source Hunter?
diesen Goldkelch. Und den Rest. Ach, ich muss das mit meiner Partnerin mal eben kurz bereden.
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
Wir können unsere Reaktion auf die Sternsteine nicht ignorieren, auch wenn es verrückt erscheint. Muss an dem Ganzen etwas dran sein.
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
Das mag zwar unwahrscheinlich klingen, aber nichts ist wirklich unmöglich. Wenn die Weberin die Wahrheit sagt, steht uns noch eine Menge Arbeit bevor.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible. If the Weaver tells the truth, we have some serious work ahead of us.
Ach, wir sind romantisch.
I got something for you if you're up to the challenge.
Sehr schön. Dadurch wird Glückswert weiter angehoben.
I am the last chest, the last chest, the last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each, you'll discover how to open me!
An diese Truhe erinnere ich mich auch nicht mehr.
Come, come! I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge. The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon, not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, you know, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust these days.
Können ein bisschen voll werden, wenn wir es jedem sagen.
Off you go then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Die Weberin der Zeit hat gemeint, dass sie dadurch, dass wir Sternensteine finden, wieder am Bilderteppich der Zeit weben kann. Wie ist das möglich?
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot!
Wenn ich schon nach Sternensteinen suchen soll, dann wüsste ich gern, wo ich anfangen soll.
Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet does not exist.
Besuchen Sie die Sternensteine Ihrer Stadt.
Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my writings and on the tapestry of time. From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in the ancient places of this world. Ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed and consult with my agent.
Ihr sagt, ihr seid der Imp-Historiker, doch scheint ihr mehr zu sein als ein einfacher Imp. Und mehr als ein einfacher Historiker.
Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing me. The end of time. I'll be out of a job. So, gather those starstones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever.
Kommt ihr euch als einziger Chronist der Zeit nicht irgendwie einsam vor?
Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Lonesome, being privy to all that has been and all that is? Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now and then.
Aber an sich muss er doch alles wissen, was jemals passiert ist in der Geschichte.
Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the sons of Sigurd. The last Rivalonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivalon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world.
Immer nur beobachten, aber nie an etwas teilhaben. Und ist wie Fernsehen.
I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need hardly remind you, is of the essence. A question has me stumped, milady.
Spaltreise.
Why are there 2 of us? 2 beings that record all of
How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest.
Kann mit dir handeln?
I hope you begin to find this place more
Geil.
familiar
Die
than
Weberin
it
der
may
Zeit hat
seem.
einfach Faden und Nadel dabei.
In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions. The drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault.
Das bedeutet, der Teppich besteht aus 80% Porno.
Except, it seems, you. Ask and I shall answer, if I can.
Der Teppich ist eigentlich das Internet. Warum will ich eigentlich jeden fragen, ob er einsam ist? Wenn ich das richtig verstehe, bin ich gar nicht auf dem Bilderteppich der Zeit dargestellt.
Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed.
Dieser Ort wird Ende der Zeit genannt. Ist er das? Nicht mehr, nicht weniger?
What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the star stones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever.
Good to see you.
So, du hast nichts zum Handeln, das ist okay. Und bevor ich jetzt die Phase wechsle, würde ich den Stream erstmal beenden.